decide to become a fashion brand owner?
You know I wear my own socks. I don't wear anybody else's socks.
This parcel is worth $300.
There's always a twist on my designs because that's a part of me.
This baby is my favorite.
I wouldn't wear a plain sock if someone paid me to.
I would love to encourage everyone who wants to have their own product to contact us and start developing with us. You can be one of us. Welcome to the Fashion Invention Bootcamp Podcast. We are fashion inventors. We invent life-changing products, and you can be one of us. I'm Antufjew, and today with me here is the legendary Tammy McCray, inventor of Tammy McCray Art Socks that help men to be unapologetically themselves. Welcome very much, Tammy. Welcome. Look what I have here.
Oh, that traveled a long way. Oh boy.
I should have taken my huge scissors, the one I work with, but let's see what we've got. This parcel is worth $300. I thought I'll give them as the gifts to men because Tammy McCray is a men's sock designer, but I feel I'll steal them all.
You know I wear my own socks. I don't wear anybody else's socks.
You can't. Once you've got a pair of Tammy McCrays, you're not going to wear any other socks anymore. This one is my favorite. This baby is my favorite.
The McCray-Nobles.
Oh my God, those are so cool. This is my favorite color, Tammy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We got
The McCray-Allens.
It has words. Be powerful, be unique. Guys, I'm going to unpack as we go, and now I want to ask my first question.
Sure.
So because we are here not only to unpack the parcel that I've got, but we also to unpack the brand, the designer, Tammy McCray. So my first question, Tammy, is the source of your creativity. What was the defining moment when you realized you wanted to create something entirely new in fashion rather than just follow trends?
I think a turning point for me was I have two sons, and raising them, going to the department store, trying to shop for them. The section for boys is very small. The section for men is very small. Still, with me being, I call myself a fashionista. I like different things. I wanted to create something that was unique and something that was different that everybody else doesn't have. You go into the department stores nowadays and, you know, you got some crazy socks, but they're not crazy. The designs are okay, but for me, they just don't push it to the next level. When you're an artist, when you like to be seen, when you like to wear things that don't look like what everybody else have, and plus you're looking for quality. I don't know how many of you out there can agree with me on this, but when you go into the department stores nowadays, the stuff that's being made is not good quality. Well, that was a turning point for me.
And in this turning point, you decided to do your very own.
Yes.
Wasn't it scary? How do you decide to become a fashion brand owner? For me, I think it's very terrifying.
Dressing is about expressing yourself, I feel. And so when you don't have the tools or the different things that you need to express yourself, if you're a creative, then you just make whatever it is that you need. And that's the place that I come from. There's always a twist on my designs because that's a part of me. I am unapologetically myself, an artist.
Your socks are not like any other sock I know. How do your personal experiences and identity shape the designs you create? Is there a signature element that runs through all your work?
The gold zigzag down the front is my signature element. And that zigzag was made because of all the ups and downs in life. All of us as human beings, we have that in common. Ups and downs, But when there are downs, there's a lot more ups. It's just your life.
So this is the zigzag of life.
Yeah.
I've also noticed that your socks, they have two parts. So they always have two parts. So what does it mean?
Duality. I make socks for men, but women wear my stuff too, right? We all as human beings have different layers, like onions to ourselves. So I put two prints together because technically in fashion, that used to be a taboo. Don't mix prints. Because of the duality in life and in people's personalities. And, I decided, hey, let me try it. And now I love it. I wouldn't wear a plain sock if someone paid me to.
Once you indulge yourself in a good fashion, there is no turn back. What I love about creating fashion, about being a fashion inventor, is that you truly mirror your very essence as a creative human being into a product that empowers other people to excel and to change their lives in a way that they aspire. You are breaking all the rules. I want to know from your perspective, what are fashion rules and traditions you love to break in your designs and why?
So growing up, it was, like I said before, it was taboo to put two prints together. And actually, I never liked seeing like somebody putting a small polka dot with a large polka dot or wearing plaid with a polka dot. To me, I just always thought that didn't look good. But that was when I was younger and I was coming into my own. Now that I understand, yes, these two patterns can be put together. It just depends on how you put them together. They complement each other very well. So that's what I do. I mix patterns. And the two sides of the sock, you can actually wear the sock two different ways. So if you switch legs, the darker part of the sock will be on the outer part and the lighter part will be on the inner part, or turn exactly.
I love it because it is also a different statement. Each and every day, you make a statement with everything that you wear. By putting on a sock that breaks the pattern, you are embarking on a journey to break this pattern in your life.
Yeah.
Opening up to your creativity. This is why you say you are helping men to be unapologetically themselves. Like from socks on, it starts with the socks.
It starts with the socks. I mean, people think that socks are, it's just a pair of, I'll just throw these socks on. But really, in all honesty, dressing is an art. And a lot of people who think they can't dress, they really can dress. They just have to find that and pull it out of them. With my socks, because of all the different colors that come on my socks, like the socks that you just held up with the beige and the green and the white and the black, you can pull any of those colors out.
This one, what does it mean? I see here the details as 4 compasses, a compass. And this looks like a map. And on the other side, this looks to me like, I don't know, some treasure point.
Yeah, so that sock, when you put those socks on and you put your legs together, it actually makes a map.
So this is a map.
That is a map.
And is this your treasure? Like, is the treasure here?
Oh, yeah, you're going to find your treasure. Everybody's treasure is different in life.
It is closer than you think.
It's closer than you think.
And there is a map to it,
Mm-hmm. You push yourself beyond what you think your limits are, and then you start coming up with all these things. And again, society will try to fit you in a box, so to speak. I've never been one to let anybody put me in a box. So when it comes to my designs, I'm always stepping outside the box, especially with what they call common designs like houndstooth print, paisley print. I always do a twist on my things. So I make my prints my own. That's it.
You feel free once you allow yourself to do whatever you feel is right.
Yeah.
And it does not have anything to do with whatever you've learned is right before.
Exactly. So I just have to say this as a designer, and coming up, my mom, she dressed My dad, he still dresses, and he's in his 70s. I'm not going to put his age out there, but he's in his 70s. And my family, just watching everybody dress, they kind of conformed to, oh, well, I'm not going to put this print with that print. I'm going to wear this plain. My father, though, was one that he didn't let nobody put him in a box. He always broke boundaries when it came to getting dressed. And I took a lot of inspiration just from starting this business from him and some of the other men that I grew up in my family. Hence, that's why some of the socks are hyphenated and they have another last name to them, because it's in honor of the men that I grew up with that inspired me.
So do I understand it correctly that your family supports you in this venture?
Oh, yeah.
Do they wear your socks?
Oh, my God. My father has every single sock, of course. And also, you know, I run designs by him. I try to include, I include my sons. I have 2 sons. But I also include them in the design part, and my father.
Does it help you as a designer that your family supports you?
It does tremendously. It does, especially when I get stuck. Being a designer, sometimes you have so many things in your head. Something that may look good to you, it may start not looking good to you. So it helps when you have an extra pair of eyes and brains to run it by. And even sometimes after I run it by them, I'm still thinking, but my gut always tells me, nope, it's fine. Just go ahead and do it. And so that's what I do. I just go with it.
So this is an important part. Please explain to our viewers, there is a mind component to that when you're kind of thinking about something, and there is a gut component that you say is always right. Do you design with your gut then? Do you follow your intuition?
I follow my intuition. I do. And it's crazy because even after the socks are knitted and I'm able to see a sample of the knit, before I actually see it, I'm cringing because sometimes you'll do a design and it may not look right when it's knitted. So then we have to go back and we have to change some things, right? But that's only happened to me a couple of times. I think I've been pretty lucky with just knowing what the knitting machine is capable of and then picking designs. I draw a lot of inspiration just from things that I see on a day-to-day basis. Recently, I had to take my youngest son to go get a haircut. He's getting ready to turn 18. And I was having a conversation with his barber. And, you know, I had given him a pair of socks because, you know, Christmas is coming up. And he had no idea what I did for a living. And he asked me, how do you find inspiration? And I told him, I said, art isn't everything. I said, you just have to look. I said, some people can see it and other people can see a different type of art. I said, but I've been blessed to be able to see art in pretty much everything. I said, look at all that hair on your floor. He said, yeah. I said, I can literally see a pattern with the blobs of hair that are just sitting on your floor. And he turned and looked at me. He's like, are you serious? I said, yeah. And I got up and I pointed to him a pattern of the big blobs and the little blobs. And I actually drew connect the dots. And he said, oh my God, that's amazing. I said, it's just hair to you, but somebody that's an artist and somebody that's a creative, I look for things that pique my interest. Something so simple as that.
So does it mean that you are not really have to be born creative to be a fashion designer, to be a product owner, fashion inventor?
I don't think so. No, absolutely not, because everybody has their own artist side. I hear some people say, oh, well, I'm not an artist. Yes, you are. When you get up and get dressed every morning, you're putting yourself together. That's art. Whether you think it's plain, whether you think it's too much, it's still you expressing yourself. And you're being unapologetically expressing yourself because you're getting dressed for you. You ain't getting dressed for nobody else.
Yeah, that's true. I believe everyone has to have her own product, fashion product. They say every person has a book in them. I know for a fact, every single person has a fashion brand. in them. And you know what happens now? I see people, I talk to people for something like 10 minutes, maybe I know exactly what fashion brand they have in them.
And see, that's a gift that you have that everybody doesn't have. That's an art, to be able to sit back and spot things and then say, you know what? You can do this, and this. Yeah.
I have a question, Tammy, about the future of the fashion. What's a problem in everyday's life that you are solving through your art socks? And how do you see it influencing the life of men wearing it?
My art and my socks invoke confidence in people that don't feel that they are confident. My socks are statement pieces, and they empower men, and they can empower women too, because like I said, women wear my stuff as well. But I make stuff for men because I feel like us as women, we have everything already, and men, for me, they have to look. They really have to look for stuff in order to put themselves together and really express themselves how they want to express themselves. Oh, there she goes. McCray-Scotts.
I love this one. This is my second favorite. This is Bubbles and Veins.
Yes.
This is an amazing art piece, You know, Tammy, while you are saying, I understand that this art of yours is a license to be as creative as you truly are. So not to hide behind anything, or not to shy, because people are not hiding, people are shying behind what will they say about me. Well, it doesn't even matter, because would you say it matters what people would say about you?
No. What matters is how I feel about me. Because I got to wake up with me every single morning, and I got to look at me every day, you know? And so when I get dressed, like I said, I wear my own socks. I don't wear anybody else's socks. I wear my own socks. And when I look at my socks, it invokes, ooh, what am I going to wear with this? How am I going to express myself today?
I believe it's a very strong statement to say, and I believe it will be a flying phrase. I wear my own socks.
Yes.
Oh my God. Isn't it powerful? You know, are you wearing your own socks? And if you are not wearing your own socks, it's time to start wearing your own socks. Because everyone, and I know for sure, you cannot tell me any garbage beyond that. I know for sure that every person, every human being is set in this life, in this world, to create. And that the creativity, the pure creativity, is the only place where you are being yourself. So the moment when you allow this song to come out of the top of your head, going through your feet, your legs, like you put on the socks, and it goes through the feet, through your legs, through your tummy, through your chest, through your head, and it comes out. And this song is the true you. This is your connection to God, in my perspective. I love what you're doing, and I admire you because
thank you.
You've taken something that's very difficult. I thought it's very difficult to turn to art, you know, but we have a lot of inferior fashion right now in the world. So the quality is gone. I mean, we don't have to have any discussion on that. Go to any store and there is a pile of garbage there. So those people who are doing quality, those people are really caring for people for this world. And your socks are absolutely top quality.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
My whole family wants them. They're asking me, well, what socks do you have there in the parcel? Can I see them? Oh my God. Well, I already know that I have to place a big order with you for all those gifts that I want to give. Because people are getting hooked to them. If they have one pair, they want a second one. Did you ever had like your family members or your clients or your friends saying like, when is the next coming out?
All the time. And I'm like, you guys, please be patient because we got some things coming out. We're working on 4 new socks right now. I'm always creating stuff.
Once you've got your first pair, you want to collect them. That's a promise.
And we have a sock subscription. So
yeah, I have to say something, guys. Tammy McCray has a sock subscription, but it is not a normal subscription. It is a creative membership. So once you become a creative member, you can co-create with the designer, meaning that you can submit your designs And then, of course, there are several submissions, not only yours. And once you submit your design, there's a voting by clients. What design do they want to see next? And based on what's voted up, this design is being implemented by Tammy McCray, and you are co-creator with a big brand.
Yeah, it's fun. It is. It's a lot of fun.
What kind of emotions do you want people to feel when they wear Tammy McCray Art Socks? And how do you bring it to life through your work?
I want people to feel confident. I want people to be happy. We can evoke feelings basically with our eyes. So that's just like when you see food, and I'm kind of jumping off here just a little bit, but just to make a point. But if you see food, if you see a plate of food that looks good and one that don't look good, you're going to go for the one that looks good, right? It's evoking emotion out of you. So that's what I like to do with my socks. If you put my socks up with a pair of plain socks, you're not going to feel anything from them plain socks. Oh, those are okay. But when you see my socks, everybody is happy when they see my socks. And I love it. And not only that, but they also go into, what am I going to wear with this? So whatever it was that they were going through, whatever it was they were thinking about that was negative, that's instantly gone because they're looking at my socks, and it evoked happiness out of them. And that's what I do. That's what I love to do. That's what I do with my designs. Is I love to invoke happiness. And if you're not confident, oh my God, buy a pair of my socks, because you're going to be confident. And trust me, people are going to stop you and ask you, where'd you get those from? I've never seen those before.
They do. They stop me.
Me too.
If you had an opportunity to work with any historical figure or any creative of these days to co-create a pair of socks, who would you pick? Who would you love to work with?
I could say shoe brand. I would like to work with Mark Nolan. He's a new shoe brand that I guess he came out last year or the year before. I love his shoes. Oh my God, his shoes. As far as historical figure, I would really have to put some thought into that one.
You just mentioned the creative membership. If we have someone who wants to join and become your creative member, where can they find it? How can they become a creative member in your program?
Oh, just go to my website, tammymccray.com, and you have to purchase a pair of socks, and then it'll ask you if you want to pay full price or if you want to be a creative member, and that's how you become a creative member.
I very much recommend everyone who wants to unleash their creative power to become a creative member with Tammy. Not only will you wear the best socks ever, but you will also be able to co-design. You'll basically become a fashion designer without your own brand. And of course, at the end of the day, you will want to have your own. It always happens. We will put the link to Tammy's website on this video as well, so that you can go and find the website. What was the most unexpected challenge or happy accident you've encountered while developing your product?
I want to say creating the first pair of McCray socks. And the reason why was because I had a drawing, and I took my drawing to my manufacturer, which is you. And you were able to like work out all the kinks that were coming about, because with there were some things with the knitting machine that we had to test out to see, how busy with the print we could go. That was something that we didn't know. And so I believe we made a couple of pair of samples, and a couple weren't quite right. And then we had to go back in and fix some things. But the happy accident, and I don't know if you remember this, was the socks being able to be worn, the prints being switched out on the inner leg and the outer leg, depending on which leg you wear them on. We didn't know when we did this design that you would be able to do that. And so that was the discovery, and we've been rolling ever since.
This was a bonus. We didn't know.
Big bonus. We just was like, oh, this is a nice pair of socks. And then I wasn't on the phone with you that day, but I had the socks on and I was taking pictures on my bed, and I crossed my legs, and that's when it was revealed. So then I hopped on Messenger, and I messengered you, and I said, hey, look at this. And I took pictures, and you was like, what did you do? What did you do? I said, you can switch the designs out. So yeah.
And the life of fashion inventor is full with those
Yeah.
coincidences. Yeah.
Yeah.
When people say, I need to plan out everything, I need to see everything through, impossible. You just can see one step, and you need to know what your love is. Like, if you love it, yeah, I love it, and I know what's the first step, so I make this first step. And then you'll receive a lot of gifts.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Was it easy to find a manufacturer?
For me, I'm going to say no, because I had a problem that occurred, I want to say 2 years before I found you. I actually was manufacturing something else, but I wasn't really manufacturing it. I was kind of just looking for someone to make samples. And so this lady was, she was where I was living at, and she said that she could do it. And then COVID hit, of course. And she said she could still do it, but she didn't tell me that, she lost her business and she had to go back to work. And so when I finally did get the sample that I paid her for back, it was, I want to say a year had passed. And then when I got it back, I started pointing out things to her that I didn't understand. And when I started doing that, I guess she was overwhelmed and she kind of went off on me. And at that point, I decided, I was like, you know what? I think this is too much for you. And, you don't have the people anymore. I said, you should have told me what was going on. Had you told me what was going on, I would have, broke ties and, went my way. But she didn't do that. And she had her reasons, but I had my reasons for breaking ties. And so for 6 months, I was kind of depressed about it because I really wanted to design. I wanted to, and I'm like, I wonder if this is going to work. Maybe it's too hard. And I just happened to be on Facebook one day and I saw this message from Miss Julia about if you're a fashion designer, fashion brand, and you have an invention, get a free call with me. So I said, then I said, I can't lose anything. So let me reach out to her. And so I reached out to you, and boy, we had a long conversation, and shoot, I was sending you all my stuff so you could look and see where I was coming from, and you understood everything. And so I was like, well, okay.
Did you get the answers that you were looking for?
Oh my God, I got the answers and then some. You are a one-stop shop. You are, because you've been doing it for so long, and you have the connections to get stuff done. And then taking your course was golden, because when I started this business, I was green on the business side of it. I really didn't know much. I didn't know terms and all that stuff. And I still struggle sometimes with things, but not as much as what I did. I know way more now than what I did 2.5 years ago.
So did you learn the business?
Oh my God. Oh, the business side. I love the business side now. For I want to say 6 months, even though I was taking your course, and I don't know if I told you this, I ran from the business side because all I wanted to do was create. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't want to learn the business side of it. But when you have a business, I don't care if it's fashion, if fast food, whatever, you need to know every aspect of that business. And so I thank you so much, because I stopped running and I started putting my head down and learning the business side of it. And so I find myself sometimes talking to people and I'm like, golly, I sound like I've been doing this for years. But it's thanks to you. It's oh my God. You're a blessing. You were a blessing sent from God to me, because like I said, I was getting ready to throw in the towel and just give up, because finding a manufacturer, there are so many manufacturers out there, so many. And when you don't know what direction to go in. You don't know what to look for. That's why I said you were a blessing to me.
Well, thank you so much. Means a lot to me to hear that. Thank you, Tammy. What we learn from it is that there is always the right person for you. There is a manufacturer. You can have it all. There are people in this world who are the exact match for everyone. And in this case, we've been the exact match for a fashion inventor who has a burning desire to start a fashion brand and doesn't have any knowledge on nothing and has to have a great product, but doesn't even know where to start with. And we would come in and take the fashion inventor by hand through the whole process and teach and teach and teach and teach and manufacture the great quality products. I'll tell you one funny story. So one of our clients, she said, you know what? People are asking me where I manufacture and I don't tell them. And I say, why? Just why wouldn't you bring us more business? And she said, well, I would love to, but I was looking for you for 8 years. She said, I don't want my competition know you because they will get the same great stuff I do. So we became an asset for brands. It is a compliment. Tell me, Tammy, how did you feel when you held your first pair? I'll show now to everyone the first pair. This is our baby, the first pair. How did you feel holding it in your hands when it arrived?
I cried. I did. I was so full of joy because it's a dream coming true. It's like you're living something that you've been wanting for so long. And at the time when I did the socks, I was not in the best moods. I was going through a divorce and but I pushed through it. I had to. And it's like I refound my love for me by creating that sock. So that sock right there, that print right there is a staple to our brand. So yeah, I love it.
I love this one. It brings me to this another question. A lot of people are looking for a right time, but I know that your journey as a fashion inventor was not all roses, smelling roses.
There is no right time. Just start. Just start.
Your life was crazy. You had like crazy experiences in your life while still focusing on your brand. You are a trooper. You're a warrior for me. Like a lot of people would throw in the towel. I mean, you've started at the point when you were in divorce. For a woman, it's a crazy time. Like
it is.
Divorce is
like a death.
Next to death. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like a death. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
still, where did you find the strength to do that?
You know, I prayed and I prayed and I prayed to God to keep giving me strength, to heal me first because my heart was shattered. And the direction he led me to is my art, creativity. And so that's how I was able to kind of find myself and redirect myself from a negative place to a positive place.
Is there a healing property to being an artist?
There is. I feel that there is. You're focusing on something more positive than that negative. And for me, that focusing on that positive, that design aspect of it, it pulled me out of that negative space. It let me see that you're designing something beautiful. This is negative over here, but it's beautiful over here. But this over here can be beautiful too.
Oh my God. So you are saying that you are designing something beautiful and the beauty of your creation reflects onto the challenge in your life and turns it into a beautiful experience as well.
Exactly.
This is strong. This is very powerful. I've never thought about it this way. Yeah. Very nice. Absolutely. Oh, very nice. Tammy, please tell me, how did you feel when you saw the first person wearing your socks?
That's my dog, y'all. He wants attention. Please, Othello, stop, honey. Go play. It's an undescribable feeling to actually, first off, to actually hold something that was on a piece of paper. Something that you drew out on paper that didn't even exist. That didn't exist. It existed in my mind. And the idea came from out of my mind and I drew it on paper. But to actually see someone wearing my design and actually loving it, that's an undescribable feeling. That's almost like you having a baby and you're looking and you're looking down at this new life that you birthed and you can't believe this. You did that. I guess that's the best way to explain how it was for me.
Yeah.
And I feel that way every time I launch a new print and I see someone wearing that print.
It is so powerful to see that people return your love by wearing your styles. It is empowering.
I love it.
Of course, I have the very same experience. So when I see people wearing my own designs and the products that we have manufactured, it is each and every time an extremely powerful experience. This feedback by the world amplifies the happiness thousands of times.
Absolutely.
And I had this experience once. I had a client and she was purchasing everything that I was designing. And she was a great client of mine, a very beautiful woman. She was wearing everything. And her son called me one day and he said, "I'm sorry to tell you, but my mom passed away." And he said, "I want to share with you that she has written in her will that she wants to be buried in your clothing."
Oh my gosh.
And
wow.
I was crying for a day.
She loved what you created so much, but she loved how it made her feel.
Yeah. And wow. It was, for me, it was such a recognition, such a huge thank you, that even that you want to wear it on your final path. And I've never thought about it as a designer. How do I know? I don't know. I create things and I want women to wear them, and then this kind of appreciation. This was very perfect. Tammy, now I know that there is something else lingering in the shadows, or at least coming up. I know that you started a new project, that you are working on something special, and can you give me like a little sneak peek into your new project?
Yes. So Tammy McCray is in the process of creating a sock for boxers because of all the different injuries that they occur. Right now, the stuff that's on the market, it's not really tailored to them. That's what's coming down the pipe real soon. And oh my God, I can't wait. My photographer is already throwing ideas out there like, oh, we're going to do this and we can do this and we can go here and shoot. So
you are still in the research period, right?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, okay. Yes. This is exciting. Did you know from the very beginning that this will turn out this way, that you are going into sports?
No. No. So I like boxing. I actually love boxing. I was introduced to a boxing coach, and he has his own gym, and I was able to go and see some things. And he had a tournament not too long ago that I was able to go to. And I just sat there and I just looked at all the people that were there supporting their loved ones that were kids, teenagers, and adults. And it was men and women. I felt so proud to actually be able to sit amongst the people there that had loved ones that were competing, right? But I noticed everybody that was getting in the ring, I was looking at their socks. I wasn't really paying attention to, I wasn't really paying attention to the matches like I should have been. I was there for a whole nother purpose. So I was looking at their socks and I just noticed that, you know, pretty much everyone that got in there, they was wearing some socks that they wasn't right. So it was an idea that I had been toiling with for a while. And when I went to the actual boxing match, that solidified, I need to do this. So it wasn't planned, but it's needed. It is absolutely 100% needed. So
It is very interesting because the project is challenging and we have to twist our brains about several things, but we've already lined up the whole production. We have very strong partners on our side who are going to develop stuff for us. Your idea that you have in your head, no matter in what stage it is, it can be developed in steps that you will comprehend until you have a final product. This is a fact. Someone asking me once, Julia, and what if it does not work, like creating the product? And I mean, wow, what do you mean it doesn't work? It works.
Did you just see my face? We don't think like that.
Nay.
We don't think like that. It takes a lot for us to start thinking like that. Anything is possible. You can create anything. Everything was an idea first.
Yeah, look around you. Like all those things you're using, someone has thought of it and developed it. Each and every little thing, and huge thing as well. So I would love to encourage everyone who wants to have their own product to contact us and start developing with us. Tammy, thank you so much for being with me here today. It is an amazing and inspiring conversation.
I had fun. Thank you.
We are fashion inventors. We invent life-changing product. As a fashion designer and influencer, a store owner, or a product entrepreneur, you can be one of us.
Yes.
Much love. And we see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Tammy, I'll call you in a second. Bye-bye.
Bye.